the genius of Ryan Garcia is fooling a bunch of dumb people in a very stupid country right now into following him, and they have this blind faith and loyalty towards him.
What's up, everybody? I came on here to address this bull claim that I cheated.
Lies.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that I don't cheat. What can I say? You know, why didn't they come out with this before, you know, the fight? If they found it before, why would they let me step into the ring as a cheater and then come out with the victory and then they post this, you know? Again, these are people that are trying to attack me for whatever reason, but no weapon against me shall prosper. I never taken steroid. I don't even know where to get steroids at the end of the day. I barely, you know, take supplements. They're saying it's coming from the ashwagandha. That's retarded. So at the end
Lies.
of the day, big lies. I beat his out of here. Everybody go to Warwick tonight. It's lit.
And I was
Let's
with
get
this
it.
guy every single day, and I never ever saw
So that's Ryan Garcia. No weapon formed against him shall
man of
prosper.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Victor Conte. What's he say?
Ryan Garcia has brought you into this, and he has somehow suggested that you are, in a way, behind his failing of these drug tests. I would love to get your response to that.
His conspiracy theory is completely wrong and debunked. I have nothing to do with this. I'm completely independent of VADA. More than a decade ago, when VADA first started, I was one of the first trainers, or whatever you choose to call me, sports nutritionist, that was referring my fighters, world champions. The first one was Nonito Donaire. This was back in 2012, and he did 4 fights, won 3 of those. He was tested by VADA. He won the Boxing Writer Association Fighter of the Year. So I have been sending my fighters, obviously because of my background, okay, and things that happened back in 2003, almost a decade later in 2012, it was a good idea. And I became an outspoken anti-doping advocate in 2005. So I refer my fighters to VADA. That's the extent, you know, of my relationship. Did I introduce Margaret Goodman and Flip Homansky that run VADA to people like Dick Pound, who was the founding chairman of WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, and others that helped them be able to do the testing at WADA accredited labs? Yes, I made some introductions, but nothing more than that.
So you are not behind Ryan Garcia's positive.
I am not behind Ryan Garcia's positive drug tests. It's foolish for him to say that. There's absolutely no evidence whatsoever to lend any credence to whatever he's saying.
Steve Kim, your thoughts on all of this?
Okay, well, first of all, it's great to see Victor. And by the way, he'll be a special guest of Mario Lopez and I on the 3 knockdown rule on Monday. He'll get more into this. Victor Conte, he taught me something years ago. He said, Steve, you know what the first thing you become as you make the transition into being a drug cheat? And I said, no. And he said, a liar. And Jason, having covered many of these stories, I've never actually had or actually heard someone say when they get busted, okay, yeah, you got me. I did it. Straight cold busted. Guilty as charged. No. But what's going on here is almost like the boxing version of the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Because of Victor Conte and Snacks association with Devin Haney, and then like you outlined his help or his consultation with VADA, now everything comes back to the sinister head of BALCO, right? But here's the truth. The bottom line is VADA is independent here. In fact, they were contracted by Golden Boy Promotions, from what I understand. And what is not being talked about enough, Jason, is the fact it's not just ostarine that is being that was detected in the body or the system of Ryan Garcia. There's another one, nandrolone, or 19-nandrolone. So it's 2 substances. And a strength and conditioning coach said, Steve, that right there, to me, closes the door on any doubt that he did something, and he did it purposefully. Here's the other thing that really gets me is this. Team Garcia keeps saying, well, how in the world could you test me the day before the fight, knowing that I tested positive, and then the night of, and now you come up with the news. This is why. These drug tests, which tests for hundreds of various substances that are banned. They're on a list. It's not like a pregnancy test, Jason. It's not like you give over some sample of your blood or urine or your spit and you have a little thing and it's like, oh, it's a plus sign. Honey, we're pregnant. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so that right there needs to be debunked. The other thing is now he's saying that because I showed up and I shadow boxed for Trump, that the elites are out to get me. Ryan, it's boxing. Not enough people care. And by the way, there have been other athletes in the MMA world that have had very good relationships with Donald Trump. They have all passed their drug test. And then what I find most distasteful, and I know this hits home with you, now he's a man of God because no weapon shall prosper. Give me a break. Give me a break. Look, the genius of Ryan Garcia is fooling a bunch of dumb people in a very stupid country right now into following him, and they have this blind faith and loyalty towards him. That's the genius of Ryan Garcia.
That's fascinating and interesting. So in the boxing world, start with Steve Kim, speculate about the rest of the boxing world. Does this delegitimize his win over Haney?
There's no doubt. First of all, he says, I follow the rules. Jason, he didn't follow the rules when he purposely blew off the last 3 pounds. That alone. So, I mean, think about this. Not only did he purposely blow off the 3 pounds to gain a physical advantage, then he took PEDs. Think about that. I've seen cases like this where it's one or the other. Never when you stack them both. The word that comes to mind, I say what you want, is premeditated. So, look, you use these substances for a reason. They work. If there was something I could take right now to turn all my hair the same color instead of this awkward face, I'd take it right now. And you know what? I wouldn't deny it. There's a difference, okay? The other thing is, yeah, there's an asterisk by that win, and the test is the test. Now, the sample B will now be tested. People have to realize the sample A and the sample B comes from the same lot, okay? I think that there's a little bit of a misunderstanding. So with that being said, I don't believe this will hurt Ryan Garcia. This is what I think is going to happen. The result of the fight will most likely be changed to a no contest, which means technically Devin Haney is still the champion, which he was because the other guy didn't make weight, and he'll be undefeated still, even though we saw what we saw. The precedent has been in situations like this, these fighters generally get about 6 months to a year, although I have seen longer suspensions. Jason, in an era where fighters only fight twice a year or once every 6 to 8 months, this is like in baseball. A starting pitcher beans a guy on purpose, throws a couple of knockdown pitches, gets suspended for 5 games. It's basically a starting pitcher getting suspended for a start. It really, and here's the other thing. Because of his popularity and the fact that he has a lot of blind followers, Ryan Garcia's economics, I don't believe, will be impacted by this.
Is there interest in a rematch, though, now? Will that make money? Will that make money?
It would, because of the storylines involved and everything surrounding it. But I did see an interview that Devin Haney was on ESPN, I believe, late last night or early this morning. He has said, and again, he could change his mind. Money talks. Everyone has their price. That I'm inclined not to go for the rematch because he's a cheat. Now, here's the unfortunate part. No matter what you think of Devin Haney, yes, they sold out. They should have made a harder stand. They did not ask for a morning of weigh-in or rehydration cap, something that some of his team members wanted, but they were so confident, specifically the father, Bill Haney, who's the manager-trainer, they did this to themselves. They kind of sold out here. But here's the reality that's very unfortunate. In boxing, Jason, every training camp, every sparring session, and every fight takes something out of you. There's a thing called erosion. And the punishment that he took on that night a couple of weeks ago, whether it was tainted or not, or no matter what the circumstances were behind it, he has to live with it. That fight may leave him a different being than when he came into that ring at the Barclays Center.
Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.